if you are paying 2 cedis per trip, let's say Medina to 37 and 37 to, let's say, the Central Business District of Accra, you are spending on the average 4 cedis in and 4 cedis out.
I'm sure it's more.
Times, it's more. I'm just going on the average. So you may spend about 200 to 300 cedis. If you want to walk more and do short trips of sitting in a vehicle, so you spend about a third or half of your salary
yes,
on transport alone.
Exactly.
You have not talked about food. You have not talked about electricity bill. You have not talked about light water bill. And in Accra, people buy more water for drinking consumption than the pipe-borne water, because it looks as if the privileged have access to water, but those on the peripheries of Accra, the deprived communities in Accra, don't have access to water, and so they buy.
Yeah.
And somebody living on 1,000, to even if you are earning 5,000 a month, I can tell you that by the mid of this month, you have nothing left. So if you have 2 children, 3 children, you can imagine. I don't know how you feel. And yesterday, you know that fuel prices have been reduced.
Yes. From 19 pesos to
17 pesos per liter.
Yes.
Of,
and now I think it's 9 pesos.
They've reduced it by 9 pesos. So you still have the figures right, but you are turning it round. It's not 8 pesos, 9 pesos.
Many so. Because
the 17 pesos translated into 12% increment in fuel prices. That's the pump price. And so we want to see this morning how much it will reflect.
Well, there's still a margin there. That is my problem. Because, Eric, you agree with me, say, even if fuel prices increase by 1%, it affects the most important things that we need, which is our basic needs. I'm telling you that the polytank I used to fill in my home, it used to be 30 cedis. Then after COVID, the levy or extra charge, they said, oh, now it's 40 cedis. So no problem. Just last week, when we called them to bring water, it was 70 Ghana cedis, Eric. So if I'm buying water for 70 cedis and that polytank only lasts the house for about a week, sometimes just 8 days. So if I'm buying 70 cedis water every 7 days.
And if you are earning 700 cedis a month.
Can you imagine this?
Charlie, but a lot of people are magicians.
It's tough.
And it's about sacrifice. It's about commitment. It's about...
Oh, we've sacrificed enough. They tell us that when the economy is tough, you will have to help us build it. And then when it's time to enjoy, we enjoy it. But when it's time for enjoyment, we don't see it. We don't enjoy it. When was the last time you lived in this country and you felt like things are moving well in this country, like the economy is working? When was the last time you felt that way? Let's be honest. Let's have the, an open, honest conversation. Because I haven't felt that way in a very long time. And I haven't even been very
I would rather suggest
involved.
that you admit what people are saying, that times are tougher.
Yeah. Meaning that it has been tough,
yes,
and then
it's getting worse.
Exactly.
Because if you look at the Fix the Country hashtag,
oh yeah,
the anger on social media is talking about the basic things that we want to see improved for ourselves. And that is not happening.
It's not.
I have seen a hashtag, fix yourself first.
Yeah, and be firm. Hashtag be firm.
Majority Chief Whip has been lashed on social media. He has apologized, but I will show it later on the screen so that we can look at what went into his mind. I see a few things in there as challenging.
To be honest,
you see,
they don't care.
The man talks about things we also have to do. Look,
we know what we have to do.
I have listened to conversations where people say, if you tell me that you won't vote in an election because you are fed up, fools will vote for you.
It's true.
And I want to say that if you live in this country, either as an academician, a senior citizen, a paramount chief, a religious leader, any ordinary Ghanaian, and you say that the rot happening in this country, you won't talk about it, sycophants will decide for you. And you will live to suffer the consequences years on. Even if you die, your siblings, your descendants will suffer. So this narrative about, yes, let's talk about it, but I don't want to speak publicly on it. It is the same as publicly. Yes, it is the same as deciding that you will not vote. And they will tell you that people who don't understand issues will go and decide for you. I believe at this stage in our country, every country has seen it. You see development in faces, how people react. Look, in America, there was a time people didn't vote because they were blacks or they were women. Over time, People resisted, and things changed for the better. That is where Ghana should get to. I want to encourage the youth. I want to encourage the middle-aged men and women that talk now.
Oh, we are talking.
Otherwise, people will amass wealth.
I'm joining the protest.
People will amass wealth, and their descendants will continue to suppress us, and people will wake up and say, oh, sai busianfo we there, and busianfo it will sika sika no nya no hin. We sika I'm joining the protest because see, even school fees, they are increasing. Remember that every year they increase tuition. Now I was thinking because of COVID and a lot of things that are happening, they wouldn't increase it, but they still increase. They said, oh, it's just 50 cedis, but 50 cedis plus everybody in the school, that's a lot of money. Pay your 50 cedis.
I should pay my 50 cedis. They should do something about it.
Important that we need to know. Yesterday, Occupy Ghana issued a statement. They say the Minerals Act is explicit. If somebody commits an offense, i.e. breaks the laws of this country by doing galamsey or being associated with galamsey, that person can be jailed between 15 and 20 years. And so this gimmick about we have confiscated excavators, shimfans, and so on, we are burning them, is not enough. Yesterday, they issued a statement and they made reference to the Minerals Act. And they said people who can be punished and can suffer the punishment between 15 and 25 years are those who buy and sell minerals without license, mining in breach of the law, abetting any breach of the mining law, contracting non-Ghanaian to provide, and so on and so forth. But you know what happened yesterday? A group of men in 5 land cruisers drove into the Etiwa forest, and they claimed to be national security operatives. And the people in the town, Etiwa, saw them entering the Etiwa forest at dawn, and they accosted them, deflated all the ties, and in fact, they raffled them, and they have sent them to the police station. These are people in land cruisers, 5 of them, saying they are national security operatives. They are going into the forest to stop galamsey, but apparently they were going to do galamsey. At a time when we have gone for a national conference, and we are saying that there's a renewed fight towards illegal mining, and this is what is happening in this country, Abena.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I have lived very passively in this country. I haven't really been involved in politics and all of these things, but this time around is at my doorstep. I used to work with Indum, and he had the slogan, like he just said. He said, if you don't get involved, fools will vote for you. So I am getting very involved, and I am very angry this morning because things are not going well. Everything is increasing.
If you are broke, say it.
I'm broke.
If you are broke, say it.
I am broke. Everything is increasing. Every single thing. Food is increasing.
I
had an order last weekend, and I had to increase my price as well because things had increased when I went to the...
What order?
Well, there was a get-together.
I like the way you have dropped your tone.
No, there was a get-together somewhere, and I was called... But I went to the market, and I'm like, Jesus, I called the person back. I said, look, you have to add something because everything has gone up.
I want to sound sarcastic this morning.
No, please. I have to make money. When I come back, you will sound sarcastic.
We'll bring food to your
So we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll delve into our newspapers.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. Peace of mind is very essential in your journey to success. For Akwesi Papa, peace of mind means having a proper covering over his family. Literally. For Araba, aka Injection Mama, it's about having the funds to complete her advanced nursing course. And as for Corporal Odami, it's as simple as reporting on time for his shifts. Sometimes all you need is a simple push. At Needs Microfinance, we have tailor-made loan packages for salaried workers under the Controller General's Department. With the low interest rate and quick wahala-free process, you are guaranteed of a timely solution to get back that peace of mind, literally in 30 minutes. Needs Microfinance. Growing with you.
The morning update. Today I am very hyper. Sometimes you see me crying, but today I am angry because the economy is not working. It needs to be fixed. And when we talk about it, you get somebody come and tell you, be firm. It is your responsibility as well. So let's work together. We have been working. We have been moving our asses, and I can get angry because I don't sit in my home or put my hands in between my legs and wait for manna to fall from heaven. I move every single time. 3 a.m. I am out of the house. I've left my children at home. I'm working about 4 or 5 jobs just to put food on the table for my children. And what are our leaders doing? Nothing. And then they come to tell me that be responsible. Let's do this together.
And this is the response from the majority chief whip. It says, you don't pay your taxes. You politicize every good policy. You receive bribe. You enjoy illegal connections. You don't respect your elders. You overprice your products and services. You destroy state properties. Don't keep your environment clean. You don't go to work on time. You don't buy anything Ghanaian. And the last one, he says, you chase teenagers even when you are they are younger than your daughters. And you want to say, fix that country. And this is coming from the majority chief whip, Anodompre. That is it. So that is the response.
Can you imagine?
You can smile now.
No. How can I smile in the midst of this?
On its front page says, chasing own shadow. Grimy game over 2013 boss report as Van Gogh warns the Inquisitor and Daybreak. Galamsey fight won to me caught on tape. That's on the front page of the Inquisitor newspaper. Now I'll do 3 in a rush. The Business and Financial Times says Council of State calls for deeper collaboration between Parliament to foster development, and CIB talks tough on banking ethics on conduct, promises stern disciplinary action against flouting members. So that's it on the front page of the Business and Financial Times. I'm going to go with yours.
Right. So I'll start with the Daily Post because I agree with what Okuchato Ablakwa is saying. Now he says, of rising cost of living, doom saw water shortage, increase in fuel price, shambolic free SHS program, bad roads, I can attest to that, and increase in utilities, etc. The youth of our country cannot take it any longer. I tell you this for a fact. Me, I can't. Fix the country. Now also the Chronicle is saying that I'm satisfied with my fight against corruption. This is coming from Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa. Now it says government reduces fuel prices after slashing down NPA margins, whereas closed down churches that flaunt COVID-19 protocols. This is coming from the Ghana Medical Association. On the back page is sports. Now it says Chelsea, Real Madrid in critical semis clash, whereas Mourinho named Roma boss for next season. It says Lukaku declares the real God has crowned the king as he reignites feud with Ibrahimovic. You see the picture, right? I don't know whether he's kissing his forehead or he's trying to bite his forehead. Okay, so the Accra Times front page, the big story says, stop a third wave of COVID infection in Ghana. Akando tells Akufo-Addo. That's the Accra Times newspaper. The Ghanaian Times on its front page says, government sets up complaint office to investigate threats against journalists and sanction
corporates. That's what Kojo Oponkroma is telling you this morning. And then we have on the 24th, we have on one of the pages, I'll go to that, the 8th page. It comes with a nice picture, very nice picture. And it says, the deteriorated nature of roads in Ghana's industrial enclave. Those of you who live in Tema and Takrady, ask yourself why the roads must be like this in spite of the millions siphoned in or out of the country.
Daily Graphic says that sustainable health financing has become critical. Now, current arrangements can't meet the SDG goals. So the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, is advocating a national discussion on sustainable public financing of the country's health bill within the context of Ghana Beyond Aid. Also, he says more tales of missing babies have popped up. One banker has come out to say that she had a baby in the doctor that's being charged, Dr. Kwashi's hospital, and she said she had a cry of the baby. Afterwards, they came back to tell her the baby had some issues with the lungs. She didn't get to see the child, but they buried the child, and she shouldn't worry about it. Also, the secretary of the Mortuary Association, also his wife had a baby in one hospital. They came back, twins actually. They came to tell him the babies were dead and that he should give them 15 cedis so that the mortuary man will bury the child for him. Now he goes to check, because when they gave him the card, on the card they said they had given him live babies. So he went to check. That, confused him, and he went to check, and apparently they didn't bury any child.
Sorry, when we come back, I'm sure we can speak more to this.
But also, he says government reduces petroleum taxes, which we have talked about, from 17 pesos to 9
Wisdom
pesos.
Is around the corner.
I know.
Wisdom is around the corner.
All right, so we'll say
business. No. One. We'll be taking a break.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to so many Accra.
Sure.
Check, auto checks. Check, auto checks. Check.
Emission, check.
Check, auto checks.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check. Visit AutoChecks at Koforidua Aquadrum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much.
Auto checks.
Auto checks. Check.
AutoChecks, your safety, our priority.
Check, auto checks.
Fix the Economy gathers momentum as organizers plan a massive protest on May 9. Details and reaction in this bulletin. Government bars to backlash barely 24 hours after 17 pesos per litre of fuel prices took effect. 9 pesos slashed. We'll tell you what the NPA has been saying. And Ghana again drops 3 places in World Press Freedom Index in the latest ranking, mainly due to threat. And final year SHS students return to school today. As SHS1 students, some of them are returning home for vacation barely a month and a half after their admission. This is TVX was the news. You might want to stay for details. Many thanks for your company. My name is Weston Hedejome, and the hashtag Fix the Country, which started online, is fast gathering momentum as the architects plan a massive protest on Sunday, May 9. Now, the protest is to vent their spleens over what they described as the total neglect of critical sectors of the economy and decaying institutions that is threatening the future of the country. Now, in the notice to the police, they explained that the date, May 9, was selected to capture the restless spirit of the over 126 Ghanaians who lost their lives some 20 years ago at the Accra Sports Stadium, mainly due to institutionalized incompetence and the disregard for human lives. The following report captures public reactions so far.
Hashtag Fix the Country campaign, which started over the weekend, has triggered harsh comments on social media reflecting the anger among the populace. The trend of events follows public reaction towards the growing impunity, the deterioration of some sectors of the economy, the increasing hardship which many fear will be compounded by the new taxes imposed and the seeming lack of direction. Within 24 hours, and there is sentiment shared on Twitter, a rising youth unemployment, dilapidated health system, skyrocketing room renting structure, among others. Simple as that. Fix the crippling unemployment. Fix the street lights. Fix the erratic power supply. Fix irregular water supply. Fix killer roads. Fix the corrupt institutions. Fix the factories. Fix the educational system. Fix agriculture. Another read, government must show concern about the rising cost of living and harsh conditions prevailing in the country and do something about it. Hashtag Fix the Country. Let's hear a cross-section of the public.
That's exactly what is good for the country right now. And then for the president's, adamance on, listening to what we the citizens, we the taxpayers, we the one who put him into office, we believe in, that he can deliver. Right now, about all the promises he has done, he has not delivered up to 10% of it.
It's a call for Ghanaians to make it known to government that Ghanaians are suffering. And look at what is happening. Coupled with COVID-19, Ghanaians are battling with COVID-19 and there is implement of fuel and then...
A financial analyst who also spoke to TV XYZ News did not mince words.
Ghana have just come out from COVID. Most business has collapsed. They need injection to project or propel economic growth. It is not about tax. If people have come out from this suffering and difficulty, thereafter you start also taxing them. In fact, tax always take from the people, therefore they have very little to spend.
Well, still on the economy, and the fuel prices are shot at by 12% as a result of the 17 pesos of liter announced 2 days ago has been slashed by 9 pesos barely 24 hours after it took effect. The announcement by the NPA after a crunch meeting, I should say, with stakeholders follows the public outcry, but it's not clear if that decision will influence commercial drivers to wind down on the threat to increase lorry fares by at least 20%.
The widespread and commercial drivers served notice over the weekend they will not take anything less than 40% increment in lorry fares in response to the 12% increment or 6 cedis, 13 pesos per litre that reflected at the pumps yesterday. In anticipation of possible nationwide protest followed by the hashtag Fix the Country, government is pulling its brakes. The National Petroleum Authority says it has reduced the 17 pesos per litre increase in fuel margins to 9 pesos effective today, May 5, 2021. A communique issued after a joint meeting by the National Petroleum Authority, Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company, BOST, Association of Oil Marketing Companies, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, and the Institute for Energy Policies and Research, however, did not assign reasons. It is not clear how the public or motorists are responding and if this will largely influence the anticipated lorry fare increase. Public outcry on the impact of new taxes that took effect on May 1 is still raging following fears the spiraling effect on the prices of commodities and the cascading effect of the COVID-19 pandemic on businesses and people's income will make life more difficult.
We still stay in that space because the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, has served notice fuel prices may go up by between 10 to 15% beginning tomorrow. Now, it's not clear yet if the NPA's decision to slash fuel prices by some 9 pesos will affect GPRT's decision, but TVXYZ News has learned there is intense lobbying by government to beat the percentage down. The driver unions hope they can conclude discussions by close of day today before the the approved fares are announced. The commercial drivers say the adjustment is long overdue, and the recent fuel price increase and the new taxes which took effect on May 1 have compounded the cost of doing business, while another group calling itself Concerned Drivers Union are advocating a 40% increase in fares to reflect the cost of doing business and to prevent their businesses from collapsing. Let's turn attention from fuel prices and now attention to the fight against Galamsey, and pressure group Occupy Ghana has expressed shock at the decision by the Galamsey task force to set ablaze confiscated equipment used as illegal mining operations. The statement issued yesterday described the development as surprising. It said government epileptic and flattering fight gives the impression that it is unwilling to follow the law and apply same. Part of the statement read, quote, "When Aisha Wan was first arrested, she was charged with some lucrative, reasonable and insignificant administrative breaches of immigration laws. It took a protest by petition and Occupy Ghana on 16th May 2017 for her to be charged with the proper offences under the Minerals and Mining Act. It's therefore asking government to apply the Minerals Act, which clearly defines and imprisonment between 15 and 25 years for offenders which include 1. Buying or selling minerals without a license or authority; 2. Mining in breach of the law; 3. Abetting any breach of the mining law, and also says that contracting a non-Ghanaian to provide mining support services, abetting the breach of the mining laws by a foreigner, fabricating or manufacturing floating platforms or other equipment to be used for mining in our water bodies, and providing an excavator for illegal mining operations. Now, let's turn attention to some other stories, and another clarion call has been made for a concerted effort to reverse the increasing threat to press freedom. Here are excerpt of GJA's commemoration of World Press Freedom Day yesterday. Ghana slipped 3 places down to 30th from the 27th on the league table. That is the latest verdict by Reporters Without Borders, a non-governmental organization whose ranking is strictly based on the level of insecurity, threats to journalists, ill speech, among others. The drop in ranking suggests the international community's perception is worsening by the day.
Our drop on the global index, according to the Reporters Without Borders, have largely been due to insecurity and continuous threats to the lives on the lives of media practitioners in line of their duty. Need I say more than to say that a word to the wise is enough? As a country, we need to take the safety of media professionals seriously, and if we are able to wipe away this bad image, it is good for us all.
The occasion was the commemoration of the World Press Freedom Day. Vice President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Linda Asante Ejay, described the development as worrying and called on civil society organizations to step up pressures on government to reverse the trend. Speaker after speaker did not mince words. The clarion call on the suppression of media freedoms and the culture of silence creeping fast into the country, which until recently earned the accolades as one of the fast developing democracies on the continent where freedom of speech was not criminalized. George Kinson, who represented the Private Newspaper Producers Association of Ghana, PRINPAG, recommended an all-inclusive policy for harmony and an end to deliberate discrimination against media houses critical of government.
The persistent situation where newspapers and other media establishments were discriminated against in the distribution of adverts and the sharing of official information, as well as subscription by state institutions, should be a thing of the past.
Information Minister Kojo Opon-Nkrumah, who spoke on behalf of government, touched on measures in place to facilitate the implementation of Rights to Information Act. Among other things, about 100 staff have been trained and deployed, and Parliament will be apprised next month. On the welfare of journalists, he pleaded against retrenchment under the guise of COVID-19 and rather consider investing in their career and pay them well.
We are in times of a shared responsibility. No single entity, no single individual can fix the challenges or the risks all by himself. We all need to be part of this exercise. And so as much as possible, we encourage you to support your staff, to support your journalists in these trying times. They are the ones through whose good work the contributions to your profits of previous year were recorded. Now is not the time to lay off or to cut salaries.
Or TV Xyz News has been speaking to some journalists for their experiences. Please listen.
Disappointment where we are going, our media or journalism profession, where we are going, it is a disappointment because as a public, we are becoming too intolerant of divergent views. People have the right to say whatever they want to say. Our constitution guarantees it. Yet, others think that when you say something that I don't like, the best way is to attack you. And so, and that is continuing, it's been around for a while. We are not seeing the government or the authorities take any action.
Sometimes those opinions are fanatical opinions. Sometimes those opinions are informed by the fact that the people just want to protect whoever the stories of journalists affects. And so it doesn't, those are things that I consider as rumor mills and can be disregarded until and unless we can prove that there is an intentional governmental attempt to gag journalists. I don't see there being any space for the culture of silence to thrive in this country.
We are getting worse than we used to be, or we've gotten worse than we used to be. I started this job in 2010 when I finished or completed GIG, and up to 2016 things were okay, but from 2017 onwards a number of things have happened that make it difficult for me to have the faith I used to have in our media free. The truth is that I don't feel as safe as I used to feel, and it isn't Manasseh alone.
Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah had some responses regarding that subject.
Jailed or attacked for expressing their opinions. What I've heard is that some persons are not happy that when they put out their view, other people have counter opinions. And they rather than go on the attack that, oh, these persons who are expressing their opinions are saying so because they are on government payroll, or you express your opinion, there's nothing wrong with it. When somebody disagrees with you, that person must be disagreeing because he's on a government payroll. I don't think so. I think that we should give each other that mutual respect when it comes to expressing our opinions. Take the recent case of a very high profile person who made public comments about the culture of silence. And then a lecturer of a university disagreed with him. And then he proceeded to report to the university that that lecturer should be sanctioned. That is an attempt to create a culture of silence.
And that was all we have time for this morning. My name is Weston Hedejime. As always, do log on to my xyzonline.com for more update. Good morning.
If a cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehin fa pa na menya bosia, edia tre me.
Kai kra mabre, me busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Savings account. Me bada chain savings account. Ene dia keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422918896. Na won so wetu mi aka say.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Before? No. Why? These are some of the questions we are asking. These are some of the things we are asking.